not travel outwards at this same speed, the speed of sound. That is, at sea level, the speed of sound is about 760 miles per hour. The speed of sound.
Welcome to the Speed of Sound podcast. I'm Allie Roeder, and joining me today is race car driver and self-proclaimed motorsports human, Brad Perez, and producer and bassist for alt-rock band Cloakroom, Bobby Marcos. Guys, how you doing today?
Hello.
Great. Good. Everything's good.
Very good.
It's
been a while. I missed you guys.
One episode, we're going to nail that intro. We're going to have
we're
going to have something super compelling to say right in that moment.
I love the pause because it's like, oh, I'm on pins and needles. I'm on the edge of my seat.
Sometimes the way the wind blows is not where the grass flows.
Beautiful. There it is.
It's okay. It's okay. We are who we are, and I love us for it.
Yeah,
I really do. Catch me up, though, a little bit of the weekend biz. What's been going on for you guys lately?
Brad, you were on TV, so
I think
I think TV takes precedent over anything that I was doing.
You had some pretty big things.
Dude, I was racing on the CW.
Heck yeah.
I raced the Martinsville O'Reilly Series race last weekend. And I was sponsored by Bubba Wallace, and that was really weird, kind of sick. Bubba Wallace, who I've ran into while he was going to see The Devil Wears Prada, and I was going to see Architects. So, because the venue split sometimes. Yeah. So he was really cool, and I was grateful that he reached out. And I cannot even believe he even reached out to help, and made it happen.
That's huge, man. That's great. I had seen there was pictures of you guys standing next to each other. I think it was during the national anthem or during the prayer before the race. What was his advice to you? What was he saying to you?
Yeah, just about how to run Martinsville, how to how to maximize your handling of your car. If your car does this, if your car does that, your car does. I'm not going to go into the details, but we were just talking racing basically the whole time. The first thing I told him was, I have a lot to say to you, but in hopes that I don't cry right now, we can save this for another time. And then we went into that, and I was like, okay. If you could read lips, you'll see when I said that. Yeah.
I love that. That's the ultimate.
Brad, I was trying to liken it to my world, where I was thinking about what that opportunity meant to you. I feel like you and I, there's so many parallels about where you are in racing and where I am in the music industry, where we're we've both been doing it a super long time. We have a ton of experience. We're trying to make it, however you define that, but you getting an opportunity like that and basically getting the nod from Bubba and getting it had so many mainstream eyes on it. All of a sudden, we just Cloakroom played a show with Snowcaps in December, which is mega star super band. Waxahachie and MJ Lenderman, they're super band together. And
holy shit.
They're having such a huge moment, right? And they, for them to give us the nod of being this is a cool band from Chicago. We want them to open our Chicago show, and then being in their dressing room with them. And it's wow, you guys are all these musicians are all super famous. They're all having their moment. MJ Lenderman and Waxahachie are both featured in the Country Music Hall of Fame right now, in a display, so it's those people giving us the nod and looking at us. And we're you're having this weird, intoxicating moment of being this is surreal and incredible. But then Monday comes and you're okay, that was awesome, but now it's back to the grind, So
exactly,
you do you kind of vacation in this crazy moment, this crazy surreal moment, but then it's oh yeah, I'm glad that happened, but we still have work to do, Yeah,
and I think it was definitely hope inspiring for me because I was striking out every which way you could possibly strike out on the sponsorship game. So I could just imagine it and being going show to show and not seeing the needle tick any further. And that's kind of what it was for me. So although I was relishing in the moment of oh my God, I can't believe this is happening. I can't believe all these eyes are on me right now. It's I also had the pressure of let me not screw this up. And we were so bad on Friday, like I practiced, and I'm like, I'm just gonna be. This is the last time I'm doing this, guys. Like, I'm terrible. And then it ended up that like Saturday was awesome, so just I complained for nothing. But like, yeah, it was it's same deal, just funny.
Yeah, it's way harder for you to translate an opportunity because like no matter like how mentally prepared you might be, like you still have to depend on your car, the track, like the race itself, Martinsville, like anything can happen. Like with Cloakroom, that opportunity, that was at the end of a year where we had played 70 shows. So like, as far
ready.
as we were ready.
Wow.
I mean, we were like, not to toot my own horn, but like we were ripping, you know? So I was like, we went into that, like being like, oh, we're going to kill it. It's going to be awesome, you know?
Yeah.
So like the only thing that could have possibly have gone wrong is if the sound person just was like, well, I'm out to lunch.
Like shit.
Yeah, exactly. That's the only possible situation that could have happened there. Like otherwise, like if it came to us, like we knew we were prepared and like we were ready to go. And thankfully we ended up having a great set, you know? So obviously like, racing, there's just so many X factors that go beyond your capability as yourself, you know?
Well, we're proud of you, man. That was awesome
Thanks.
to see. It was very cool.
Yeah.
It was very cool.
Thank you.
Yeah. Bobby, how about you? What's going on in your music world?
I've been traveling a lot. I feel like, I think I said a couple episodes ago, I'm like, this wasn't great timing for this show because all my plans happened. But then, I've been crazy busy. There's this music series that happens all over the country. It's called Age of Reflections. And basically it's like this promoter that he'll book these like kind of profound like ambient artists, and he books them in like cathedrals, like really like vibey places. And then they do like the visuals, like they'll have like a visual artist like doing like projectors there, and they're like wall, like 2-story wall size projections going on while these people are performing. So my wife and I went and checked out one in Chicago that was like a pretty renowned artist named Steve Hochschild, and he had Carolus Coverdale open for him, who's like a really incredible pianist from Canada. That was our first one. And now I'm like, I'm not going to miss any of these shows. They have like several of them coming up. I want to go to all of them. They're just, I mean, it was so crazy, heady, vibey, like experience. Like you're just sitting in a chair, just getting like sound bath, but then like the visuals were like incredible, you know?
Yes.
So,
that's so cool.
Yes.
they mainly do them in like Los Angeles and New York and Chicago, but then there's some other dates around too. So, Age of Reflections, it's called. You can definitely check out their Instagram, and they have their whole calendar coming up.
What kind of imagery is it? Like modern art? Is it music videos?
It's definitely like it's a mix. It's just like a lot of like colors and like like just super like psychedelic, like a lot of like like just very like psychedelic, like modern art, like visuals, like, and they definitely do a good job of like kind of syncing up with the moment and the music.
Ooh.
It's very, very drawn out.
Okay.
It was like all done like super tastefully, and at no point was like either thing too much where it was like distracting from the other. It was just like very cohesive and like super well done. So
wow.
After that, we my wife and I flew to Austin to celebrate her birthday, and her brother Dave Davison is like an incredible musician from Chicago. He made a career playing in a band called Maps and Atlases, but he most recently has been playing guitar for Anthony Green, who is in the band Circus Survive and Seosin.
Wow.
Yeah, so my brother-in-law plays guitar.
Huge
Sorry,
fan.
I thought I told you this. Yeah,
What
he's
the
great.
hell?
Yeah, so my brother-in-law plays in Anthony Green's band currently, and we flew to Austin to catch them play at Emo's, which is like a pretty historic venue down there. You've heard of it. You know all these things. For the viewers at home,
I'm suffering right now.
but Anthony's currently on tour with Microwave, opening for Microwave, and it's like their 10-year anniversary tour and everything. So got to go check that out. They're about to be in Chicago, so I'm going to see them again in a couple days, which is exciting.
So, I'm totally not jealous at all. At all about this, actually. Yeah.
I'm glad. Yeah. I'm glad I didn't make you jealous, for the record.
No.
Bobby's like the coolest person I know. So like to hear these things, it's just like level up. I'm like,
I will drop everything to see Anthony
that's like
Green
insane. Yeah, that's so cool.
We came home from Austin and we went to go see this incredible artist, Cass McCombs, who put out a really brilliant album last year. He's pretty prolific. Like he's been at it a long time, but we went and checked him out at a venue called Lincoln Hall. And that was like, as far as live performances go, that's going to be pretty hard to top this year for me. Like he was incredible, you know?
Wow. What were your takeaways? How so?
Just vibe, like aura vibe,
Vibes.
you know, like really like he was so, it was so effortlessly, like just kind of commanded the room. He had a great band, like his backing band. They just were so on, they played so well together.
Yeah.
And, he was like calling like live audits, like telling the drummer to like bump up the tempo. And they were just like, so, you know, it was really cool. Like,
That's
they were
fun.
so in sync. Yeah. It was awesome.
Wow.
It was really awesome. So he has a song, my favorite song from last year. My wife and I were just discussing this, but it's called I Never Dream About Trains, which was from this last record he did. I highly recommend you checking out that song. But he played that song and it's such a beautiful song. Like he switches over to piano for it. And it's like a very somber, quiet song. And there were like 2 people behind me that just like started having a full on conversation in the middle of that song. And I seriously like, to the equivalence of like witnessing someone like lighting a cigarette up at a gas pump, I was like, almost like, are you serious? Are you crazy that you're choosing this moment to talk right now? Like it just, I was seriously gave them that look. Like,
I'm glad.
You realize what's happening right now. Yeah. So
you know what? Good.
Did you say anything or did you just?
No, I just turned around. Like, are you insane? Like, are you insane to be doing this? Yeah.
It's kind of just one of those like, you know.
Yeah, I was like shocked. Yeah, it's like, oh my goodness. So thankfully it wrapped up and we were able to enjoy the song. But
good. Thank you.
Saw some friends in the band Spy are currently on tour with Converge, who we talked a lot about earlier this year. So got to go check out Converge. They still got it in a way that I'm having a hard time wrapping my head around. A band that's still that good. Yeah, this far. That was my wife's first time ever seeing them, and she like she comes from like kind of like a folk indie rock background.
Oh, so she's not.
I was like, how is she going to feel about this? But she was absolutely captivated, as I was hoping she would be. She loved it. Wow. She absolutely loved it. You know,
good.
And she was very taken with Jacob Bannon, which I talked about earlier, his stage presence. She was very taken with his performance. So they killed it. It was awesome. And
I like that.
Got to spend some QT with Spy, which was great. Shout out to them. They're a great band. Wow. We saw David Byrne from the Talking Heads did he's doing Theater of the Mind, it's called, which is like a play, a performative play, but it's like immersive play where you like walk through it. Like it's not set, it's not seated. You like walk through with the actor and it's like super heady and crazy experience. It's happening.
Okay, now I'm curious because he's playing Coachella.
Yeah, he is. Yeah. Wow. So it's all, I mean, he's like super prolific, brilliant mind. He's does so many things. Like, he just put out music pretty recently, but then he's doing this like, you know, this, like I said, it's like an immersive play, but it's like, that's like selling it short. It's an experience. It's meant to like unwire your brain and then rewire it, you know, in a way that I wasn't totally prepared for. I'm still coming to terms with, you know? So, and then last night, my wife and I took in dinner with our friends from England, James and the Cold Gun, who are starting their tour with Bush today.
Dude.
Yeah.
What the
hell? There is a Charlotte date on the Bush tour that they're performing, but our friends from England, good friends of ours that we've spent a lot of time with, they're opening that tour and they just happened to be in Chicago last night. So we grabbed dinner with them. So it's been busy. We've taken in a lot of company the last couple of weeks.
Dude, hell yeah.
You know,
I'm about to say, low key, like
that's great.
Yeah, damn. Yeah, it's funny. I've the only thing that I've gotten to do is I saw Unity TX in Greensboro on Jay's birthday. They got to see them open for Varials. That was pretty cool.
What venue in Greensboro was it?
So if you've been there, you know it's called the Blind Tiger. It is currently called Hangar 1819 because it's under new ownership, but everybody knows it as a Blind Tiger.
Nice.
That's cool. If only Brad and I were like a little angel and devil on Bobby's shoulders to like go around with you to all these sick and cool events and things. Cause like, gosh, just the way in which you describe these experiences, I'm like, I want to transcend. I want to be there.
Look, it sounds really glamorous,
but amazing.
I've been pooping out. I got to tell you, I'm
the drop off is real.
Man.
I'm at a 5 or 6 cup of coffee a day vibe right now. Like this is not, it's been really
feed me
fun.
The artistic experiences, damn it.
I've been having a great time. Trust me, I love it. But I'm like, wow, you know, okay, it's catching up with me. So, but no, it's been a great time lately.
Yeah, I'm so glad to hear it. Well, and it's really has been a while since I've seen you guys. We were unable to record last week. So to our listeners, we're so sorry that this is a week late, but hey, we're here today and we have so much to talk about and to get into. And so really to kick off our new Music Friday picks for these last 2 weeks, because, and we've talked about this, the three of us, like so much great music has been released and coming out, and like things that are like slapping us in the face that I feel like we didn't even know about. It's insane.
Scary.
Yeah.
I don't
really
remember. I don't know if I've been like out of touch, which is not possible because I've been putting out music, but like I don't remember a time in my life where I've been like week to week, like, oh my, and then this came out. Oh, and then this came out.
Yes.
And it's like everybody, the bar is so high right now. Like I haven't heard anything that I've been disappointed at this year.
No.
You know what I mean? Like the bar is just really, really high right now. And I don't know if it's like something in the water or like that we're all so competitive for ears right now that we're all just like, yeah, you have to kill it. You can't put out fluff.
Mm-hmm.
Like we all have to be on it right now.
Everybody went to the lab and they're like, well, if we tour for this damn album, it better be fucking good.
Wow. You know what, though? That's an interesting concept because I feel like there might be a fear of oversaturation too. But the fact that we are hearing things that we really dig and we really like is a great sign. And so that's like a blessing in and of itself. So we're going to have to kind of see how the year unravels. Well, so these past 2 weeks, what are some kind of heavy hitters for you guys? I guess, and I'll even start too, Ray, which I know Brad and I were like super pumped to talk about. You guys, I've been telling everyone under the sun to listen to this record because it is just, it's an epic. And like while I was listening to it for the first time, I'm like, this is cinematic. I can literally picture just these crazy, insane visuals. Like the imagination that this album sparked within my brain was insane. And I loved it. I think she's pushing boundaries and like her extended spoken word sections, and she has tracks switching tempo midway through, and like it just was really candy for my ears in the most wonderful way. But I would love to hear what you guys thought of it if you've listened to it.
Yeah, and I think what sets Ray apart is that she is, like you said, she's very theatrical. Like you could kind of tell that she was like a thespian. Like you could almost kind of sense the vibe that like everything that she does is done from like a place of drama and theater, because she'll paint a picture with a song and not care. Like I said, like switching tempos, like it's something that's done in theater all the time. Switching time signature midway through the song. Like she had samples that go from her upbringing too. So like she has a very like R&B centric voice. Yes. Where like you would think she'd make like straight up baby making music, but like she is like very much into like the theatrical part of it. So like she'll have like she had an Al Green sample that had like a credit in the song. Like all of this to say that I am not like the person that listens to like very doo-woppy kind of like stuff, and but this kind of reminded me a lot of a very like an evolutionized Amy Winehouse record.
Oh, I love that reference. I'm obsessed with Amy. So yes, 1000% yes.
So if you listen to any Amy Winehouse, I personally recommend the Ray album.
The commentary too, what really sparked my eyes as well is like the commentary from this album on what it is, the experience rather of the modern woman. And like in 30, 40 years to listen back on this, I think would be so fascinating. And it's just such a fantastic kind of reflection of time. And I was totally geeking out.
Yeah.
So big fan.
It is a crazy perspective swap. So yeah, I'm curious to see like in culture how we like digest this album later on.
Yeah.
I gotta say, I've been pretty tuned out of like pop music in general.
That's why we're here.
Well, exactly. You guys are keeping me honest on that, and I appreciate that. But what I've seen though from your guys' picks out of the pop scene is that I think that pop music became so sterilized for a time, and it became, talk about oversaturation. I mean, like pop music was extremely oversaturated, but these artists that you guys are talking about, they are really somehow creating a voice for themselves, and they're doing really, really interesting things that are like making them stand out in a way that's kind of like breaking the mold in a way that I really appreciate. So I think like, I hope that you keep seeing this weird, like kind of experimental edge to pop music, because it's just going to do a lot for like music in general as it continues to like lead. Pop music's always leading the charge as far as music goes. It's like what most 9 out of 10 people gravitate to when it comes to music, So like if pop music is interesting, it will create space for interesting underground bands to be able to like shine through,
100% agree.
Said.
Yeah.
So well said.
I could go on and on about like the pop, I guess, metric of the world, because you see how things change. Like in the 2000s, like the very fabricated sound of like, it needs to sound like this, and it needs to be this, and it needs to be this, and it needs to be this. It is now opened up in the social media age where like, I feel most people need to connect with pop stars on a more personal level, like thanks to like the amount of access that we have to them, and being genuine in like, not only like yourself, but your music speaks like higher volume. So if you have an artist that like leans away from something that like made them who they are, like people don't gravitate towards that anymore. We're like back then when like a lot of things were fabricated, it was whatever the next trend was, we hopped on it. Where I think that leaves room for artists like Ray, like Charlie XCX, who literally her club sound is her sound. That is it. If you make an album that's not a club sound, what the hell are we looking at? Like things like that, like keeps people honest with their pop stars nowadays, which also helps the subcultures behind it that keep that sound prevalent.
Yeah. I mean, on another scale, like if you look at like rock music in the 90s, Nirvana, like blowing up, getting signed to Geffen Records, which was a major record label, blowing up with Smells Like Teen Spirit. Then all of a sudden the entire recording industry gravitated to Seattle.
Like
and bands like the Melvins, which is like a stoner rock band that look insane. They look like the Burnouts that sat at the Burnout table in high school. Like that band, Mudhoney, which is like pretty unlistenable. Like bands like that were getting major record label contracts because all of a sudden everyone was like, I want to book the next Nirvana, So like bands getting huge off of doing very interesting things always kicks the door down for other bands to follow through. So yeah, like I said, I mean, I feel like we're on the cusp of like a weird experimental era of like pop music that could like end up generating some like really wild stuff in the next like 5 to 10 years.
Agreed.
Oh, that was well said, Bobby. I like that. You heard it here first, folks. You heard it here first.
Remember,
Gotta
come
keep
back
our
to
eye
this
out.
clip. Yeah,
That's right.
We got to get weirder before we get more popular.
this is true. Yeah.
That's how it works.
Weirder and wonderful, and also further like ASMR. I didn't know that I needed, but I wanted Greenhouse.
Green Dash House.
Woo.
Bobby, tell us about it. This was one of your picks, right?
This was like, this was, as far as the first quarter of this year went, this was probably like the one I was looking forward to the most. I had gotten so heavily into them right before this record was announced. I was like listening to them all the time, and then this record got announced. So it was circled on my calendar, and it exceeded my expectations. It's beautiful. It definitely does what they do best, which I think I said in the last episode. It is like music for plants, I call it. Like it is like very ambient. It's beautiful, synthy, modular synth sounds, very pleasant to listen to. It's good for like active and passive listening, like whatever you're doing, but it's just like really nice and pleasant to have on in the house, like at all times, Yeah. But then they kind of broadened their sound a little bit in ways that was really cool to hear. None of it came out of left field. It was all like a natural progression, And like I said, the thing I was the most stoked about was they did a Bandcamp listening party. So this was the first one that I got to try, So
oh wow.
I had like the morning that record dropped, I went for a run and I listened to it and did my active listening to it. And then I came home and I logged in for the Bandcamp listening party. So you basically like you followed the URL and then you entered into like a live chat room. And it was like me and other people. And then it played the album and you could listen to it. But like, as you played the album, the artist like Greenhouse was in the chat room and you could actively talk with them.
Talk to them.
So
too cool.
People were asking them questions about gear, like what was the song about? And they were putting their own little anecdotes in there, like, we did this, So it was a really, really cool experience. Like you were actively listening with the artist from afar, It was pretty cool.
That's awesome. And that is all through Bandcamp, right? Like that is Bandcamp.
Yep.
Shout out
Bandcamp is like literally the best. Yeah.
Bandcamp.
That
I
is
mean, it's
so
a cool
sick.
concept. I want to like next time Cloakroom does an album, I definitely want to do one because you know, it's hard to like if we did a listening party in Chicago, it would probably do really well. But away from that, like it would be hard for us to like draw that type of audience, you know. But on Bandcamp, I mean, it just opens it up to where people from all over the world can join in, you know.
Okay.
So, and it seemed like that was the vibe. Like there were people from all over the country in this greenhouse one. So it's pretty cool. I think it's going to be, like I said, it's a cool technology for artists to use, you know. I'm going to go ahead and spoil this. All these picks are mine, but for good reason.
The last two.
for good reason. I did want to I wanted to talk to you guys specifically about this record just because I thought it was really cool. So the artist is called Larasim.
Okay.
And the album is called Connectors Volume 1, 1992 to 1999. And essentially like this caught me. I saw like a lot of people in like the electronic ambient scene that I followed. They were like talking about this record. And essentially like what happened here was this guy, he wasn't like a musician. Like I think he was a college student. He made this like collection of songs on a synthesizer in the 90s while he was at college.
Okay.
And he sent this tape in to a zine it was called ND Zine, and he sent it in to get reviewed, and they never reviewed it, so it just ended up in the bin. And he never like pursued a career outside of this, so it was just like lost in time. Like no one ever thought about it ever again. But sometime in the most recent history, a record label called Freedom to Spend, they acquired all of these tapes that had been submitted to the zine for review. And they've just been going, it's like 1,200 tapes. And they've just been going through all these tapes and they found this one and they were immediately like, this is freaking brilliant. It's insane. It's so good. So they put it out. Like they formally released it. And now all of a sudden, like this dude who might have like even at this point in his life, it's been 30 years. He might have like forgot about even doing this. Now all of a sudden he's like getting this crazy spotlight and like magazines are writing about it. And he's like having this like cool little like, so yeah, I just was like so stoked on the story. And the album is really cool. It is like very like synthy, like kind of similar to Greenhouse, but then like, you know, I don't know. There's like elements of like New Order and Depeche Mode in there. There's like kind of dark wavy like elements too. Like there's a lot of really cool sounds on this record, you know? And, yeah, I just love the idea of like an album being lost in time. Like we've seen this happen a few times, but this is like a really cool instance of that, you know?
Wow. And a modern example too of it just, you know, being released. That's awesome. I love that backstory.
Yeah,
I can't wait to listen to it. Sweet. Great pick.
Thank you.
I am now curious to dig. I have been digging.
Yeah, it's a good little listen. It's a good one.
That's great. And then Charlie Crockett. Oh my gosh. First of all, Bobby, you had text our group chat that this was coming out. I didn't even know Charlie was releasing this. What was your takeaway? What did you think of it?
It's great. It's really, really good. It flows super well.
His voice is just
great singer. It's a great singer, great songwriter. Like if you aren't a fan of his, we got to recognize this dude is breaking the mold. He's breaking the mold in so many ways. He's put out, I just read the statistic. He's put out 16 albums since 2015. Okay.
Wow.
He's been putting out 2 albums a year since I found out about him, which was in 2020. He's been putting out 2 albums a year. He's been on the road nonstop. He's never not touring. He's been touring the whole time. He's operating at a level that like this is how the Beatles did it, right? Like if you look at the Beatles and you're like, oh wow, they were a band forever. They weren't. They were a band for 10 years.
Yeah.
And in that 10 years, they played like 1,000 shows and they put out like 1,000 records because they were putting out records, 2 records a year, and they were touring nonstop. Like that is what Charlie Crockett is doing, but no one else is operating at that level right now, you know? So, I mean, just even like I said, if you're not a fan of his music, you gotta throw some respect on his name. It's incredible to see how, and like, I don't know how long he's going to be able to maintain at this clip because it's insane to me.
Yeah.
As somebody that played like 70 shows last year, I feel good not playing a show for a really long time, you know, after that. Like, So I can't imagine just like living on the road basically, but to be able to do it and to maintain it at the level he's maintaining it at, like he's still great, sounds great live. The albums keep getting better. So like, it's really, really respectable to watch, you know?
Yeah. His marketing tactics too. You had shared with us a little bit about that. Was this in Austin that you had noticed and seen?
When I was in Austin.
Mural.
Yeah.
So I'll definitely drop a hard image into our video here, and maybe we'll share it on
more visual
social
aids.
media too.
Visual aids.
Visual aids.
Yeah, this was like on the side of like a juice land in Austin, Texas, when we were like walking. Yeah, it's incredible, you know. And then
no one else is doing that, you know?
It's insane.
I don't see anybody doing that.
Yeah, posters everywhere. This was spray painted on a sidewalk as we were like just like happened to be like walking for pizza, and it was just like on the sidewalk, you know. So it's pretty incredible. Like he's just I would love to know more about his team that he has around him, and like the level, like the brains that are in the room, like the stuff that they're coming up with, because it's just like so inventive right now at a time where like we've been so reduced to like
the phone.
Okay, the internet. It's on the phone. It's on the internet. Like this dude is like this dude just keeps things fresh in a way that's like really, really refreshing right now, you know?
I love that. PSA, you guys go listen to Charlie Crockett.
New record's awesome. It's really, really good. Yeah.
It is really
He definitely does a good job of like, it, you know, it definitely has more, I think when I first heard him, it was very vintage country. Like it reminded me a lot of like country that was like in the 60s and 70s that like I love, you know? And it's gotten more modern sounding, but he still has that like authentic flair. Like it's not straight like polished garbage Nashville sound. Like it's very, very like authentic sounding, you know?
Yeah. Who, I'm curious, because I love hearing, Bobby, your take on country. I'm like curious, and you don't have to air anybody out now, but I'm curious like who you don't like.
Well,
I can guess. I think I could guess this.
Brad, do you want to guess who Bobby hates? No,
I don't want to start any comment wars here on our videos, you know, but I'll just say that like what has happened, and I'm not the only one who shares this opinion, but what has happened in Nashville, like in the last 10 years is not like it's forced country music out, and there's a new version of country music happening there that I think a lot of people are kind of like scratching their heads at, you know? So
if your country music has trap drums in it, throw it away.
Get it out of here.
Throw it away. Get it out.
If you're
you think you're genre bending, I don't care. Throw it away.
Yeah.
Get it out of here.
If your country music artist was born wealthy,
get it out of here.
Get it
out of here. Make something else.
Sorry, I don't mean to err on the side of classism here, but I'm just saying there's a roots in country music in this country. It stems from something, right? You know,
country music and gangster rap are two of the same thing. Country music and gangster rap are more identity than anything. If you lose the identity of the artist that creates either gangster rap or country, you lose the entire basis of the music. Like, I can't believe a gangster rapper that grew up in the suburbs, and I cannot believe a country music artist that like went to prep school in like Ohio. I don't know. Sorry, can't do it.
We should just rate the Stagecoach lineup and just blast whoever. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, I was trying to.
That's a tease because we're going to be talking about festivals later.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
Thundercat.
Yes.
Brad, this was you, right?
Yes. Yeah, Thundercat, the album Distracted, which is very Thundercat sounding, of course, the name, just even the name of the album. So, if you don't know who Thundercat is, he is just about the craziest bassist I've ever heard in my entire life. He plays a damn 8-string. Like, I think his signature is a 6-string, but it's nuts. He's collaborated with Flying Lotus, Kendrick Lamar, Tame Impala, Lil Yachty, Mac Miller.
Nice.
It's insane. And most notably, I think the story that drives this album together is that he was supposed to be on Mac Miller's tour for his last album. The tour that got canceled because of his unfortunate passing. Right. And in this album is one of the songs that was going to be played on that tour that never saw the light of day until now. Obviously, he got it sorted away with Max Estate, and all it's called "She Knows Too Much," and it is an absolutely beautiful song. Coincidentally enough, the imagery, the song is 3 minutes and 33 seconds, 333, good angel number. But
wow.
This album has a lot of features, which is unlike Thundercat. I mean, obviously he's a very highly collaborative artist, but a lot of his records, he decides to kind of do a lot on his own because it's a kind of an experimental kind of sound. But he decided to collaborate with a lot of different artists. And obviously it stays within the same kind of jazzy tone that Thundercat has, with that like very like low falsetto. Like he doesn't sing with his chest. He kind of sings it like his tippy toes, I always like to call. And a lot of that soft spoken falsetto is on this album again, and a lot of funny lyrics, like funny references he always does, like, talking about like one of the songs that he had in like his last album about like how he's covered in cat hair, like stuff like that. Like he just very silly, but like very like intricate sounding music. And I actually really loved it. And he branched out genre wise, which does not happen a lot for him. Like he kind of has his lane that if you listen to a lot of his records, like you can kind of play it through and it's mostly the same thing. But he had a song with Chanel Tress, which is an artist that makes a lot of like house music. I almost call it like runway house music kind of. Collaborated with Disclosure, Steve Lacy. And the song This Thing We Call Love is my absolute favorite thing Thundercat has put out in years. So definitely recommend that. I'll put that on the playlist. Shout out to the playlist, the almighty playlist.
Yes.
That will be out on Apple Music and Spotify and Tidal and YouTube, because we were pushing the YouTube playlist so you could see the visuals. But yeah, big fan of this album. I think Bobby, you might have listened to it, right?
Yeah, I got to give props to all the bass players who are stepping into the spotlight. We've been living on the back of the stage our whole careers, and all of a sudden Flea and Thundercat are putting out these huge records.
Flea.
And I'm into it. As a bass player, I'm stoked on it. Like,
hell yeah.
I mean, there's so much room for creativity within bass. Like, and most people don't realize it. Thundercat's been busting down boundaries for like his whole career, and this is just a continuation of that. Like he's one of the most inventively creative artists there is right now, as far as I'm concerned.
Wow.
With a punk music background.
For real.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Former bassist.
Did he start as
band,
a bassist?
For the band Suicidal Tendencies.
Yeah, which is crazy. He started out in a punk band. Now he's he's collaborated with everybody, like in the pop music world.
Wow.
So he's gone a super far distance.
That's awesome. I got to check him out.
You have to.
I did not know about it.
awesomely, honestly, super accessible music as well. Like I think if you're not into like super weird ass music, like you're gonna find something from that record that you're like, damn, okay, I agree with this.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then my second pick, Snail Mail. I talk about Snail Mail all the freaking time at this point. I love Snail Mail. I love Lindsay. And this album, Ricochet, is like, I mean, I call it like a love letter to the open road. Like it feels like something
that's nice,
that resonates with people who don't stay at home a lot. And I can kind of agree with that as somebody who does not stay home a lot. Like Lindsay can obviously attest to that, like being on the road all the time and locking herself into make an album that is just beautiful. Like it sounds beautiful. Like her last two albums is her as a teenager and her growing up in the world and having different experiences and not sounding as like timid as she was like in songs like Heat Wave and Pristine, like off of Valentine, like her sounding like kind of like a grown person with grown person feelings and like going through life as a like somebody who's like had to deal with a lot, and like hearing that perspective and also like I guess changing from just like the simple like intro guitar, drums come in, long drawn out guitar. Like there's a lot of really cool production on this, right? I think she kind of branched out and is almost kind of like, we're going to mention this again, it feels like the Nothing album. Like in the Nothing album, there was a lot of like break beats and there was like electronic elements and stuff like that. And she was like, yeah, like kind of whatever it takes to make the emotion hit the way it needs to. And I really, really love this album. Butterfly is my absolute favorite thing off of it. So if I do recommend, if you've never listened to it, I think that is once again, I feel like every song that I like from a record could possibly be a pop song. So take that with a grain of salt. So if you think like you like pop music, like that's the one that I think would get you hooked.
Okay. Adding it to the list.
From what I've observed of her, like she's obviously, like I said, she was like came on the scene as like a young prodigy, but she is like kind of like a sponge. And her pedigree, like the people she's toured with, like the people she's like learning from, not that she like needs to learn from anybody, but like the other artists that she's surrounding herself with are some of the best kind of indie songwriters that are around right now. I talked about Waxahachie. Like Waxahachie really took, Katie Crutchfield really took Snail Mail. Like that's how I found out about Snail Mail, was like her being like, hey, I'm taking this 16-year-old on tour and she's better at guitar than you are. And it's like, oh, great, great. Like, I'm glad that's happening, So, but yeah, I mean, just her songwriting, like it's scary, awesome when somebody is already good at guitar, but then they can learn very quickly from other great artists, and like, that's what always strikes me is like every album cycle, every time she does support tours of bigger artists, she comes back with an album that's even better. It's like she's learning, not only is she getting better as a songwriter, but she's learning from like all these other people as well, Yeah.
Her craft is sharpening,
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's great. I love that. Gosh, like we said, the music that's been dropping lately is insane and I'm loving it. So now, upcoming music too, we got April 10th, April 17th, the next two Music Fridays. What are we looking at? What are we getting excited about?
I'm going to run through mine as quick as I possibly can. Speed run. If you're a fan of general rock, pop rock, indie rock, pop punk, whatever, Broadside is putting out an album called Nowhere at Last. If you're into like absolutely nasty ass, like metalcore, like deathcore, like if you're into bands like Spite, you've definitely heard of Body Snatcher. They're putting out an album called Hell Is Here, Hell Is Home, heavy as hell. Isaiah Huron is an artist that I feel like a lot of people don't know about. He put out a cover of Teenage Fever by Drake. And I think it's probably one of the absolute most beautiful sounding covers I've ever heard. And I'll go back to like, I think covers are a really good way to introduce people to your music. And I think covers are almost underrated. Like I want to scream it from the freaking rafters that I think if more artists put out covers or played covers live, that they would absolutely win a crowd over. And Isaiah Huron was one of those people to me. So he's putting out an album called Mr. Love Bomb. Tiger Cub is an artist or band that I have not really heard of much, but I took a listen at two of the singles off of the album called Nets to Catch the Wind. It's very alt-rocky. These guys are kind of older. So like I'm curious to understand the history of this band, but like the album sounds super fresh, like from the singles that I've listened to. Very like alt-rock, kind of like I guess like New Order, if like they were newer and like sounded way betterly produced, I guess. That's like the best I could describe it. The Main is an album that I'm very much looking forward to. It's an artist that I forgot about. I listened to when I was like a kid. Like the last album that they released was 9 years ago. And they're back. And The Main is a beautiful sounding, like kind of like earthy, like pop rock band. You can almost call it like indie rock. And it's an album called Joy Next Door. It comes out on 4/10.
Count me in. Oh, I like the sound of that.
Yes.
Nice. Good roll there.
How long was that?
And time. Bobby, how about you?
For April 10th, I've got one. I had a list. I'm going to keep it simple. I'm going to keep it down to one. The new Squarepusher record is coming out.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was going to say that too, but you had it on your list, and I really wanted to listen to it.
Dude, did you listen to the singles yet?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Dude, the beat
Who is
boops go
Squarepusher?
hard. The beat boops going stupid on that album.
If I'm gonna sit here and act like I'm gonna listen to multiple things that week, I would be lying. I'd be doing a disservice to our listeners and to both of you. Once this drops, this will probably be all I'm going to listen to for the foreseeable future. Okay. So Squarepusher, the record is called, I think it's called Camera Concert, but it's with K's. It's very, you'll have to look up the spelling, but
Very German.
He dropped 2 singles from this. It's insane sounding. You want to talk about crazy bass players. It's I mean, I think
Nuts.
I would have to assume there's a level of influence for Thundercat coming from Squarepusher. I would be, if not, he's probably lying, I would have to guess, like, because there's a lot of similar play, but like as a bass player, it inspires me, also makes me feel like I should just never pick up my bass ever again, because there's no hope, like at ever being able to play on that level, but yeah, it's, drum and bass music, like insane drum beats, crazy synthesizers, and then bass playing like you've never heard before is what we're in store for. We've only got 2 songs so far, but like, I mean, he's not in the business of missing like ever with his discography. So I'm sure it's going to be great, but definitely going to we have to drop Squarepusher's theme on our playlist as a great, that is the ultimate introduction for listeners. If you've never heard Squarepusher before, start at song 1. Okay. That's the one to start with. So for the week of April 10, that's all I've got. I've cleared my schedule. I'm sticking with that one.
No, I don't blame you at all, because when I heard one of the singles that had like this bass run that sounded like a Thundercat, I was like, but it was like super analog sounding, that like people that are like super into electronic music, like you get to like a peak. It's kind of like I call it like the hard rock peak. Like you start at like, John Mayer, and then you get to like Linkin Park, and then you get to like Mass Grave, and then you get to like, Rings of Saturn, and then you start coming down and you're like, oh, this music is really good down here, actually. Like, and the Squarepusher deal is like, you listen to an artist like Squarepusher and you end up all the way to like these ridiculous sounding, like insane sound design people like Skrillex or Zomboy or whatever. But like getting back to the basics of electronic music, of just having your synthesizer, your microKORG, your Juno, your whatever you're playing on, and like hearing an album in the year 2026 being played on like analog gear. And it be fresh, and it sounds fresh. It's something like you haven't heard before. It's like, it's awesome. It's like, oh my God, how'd you do that? Like, and that's the Squarepusher album to me. That's why I'm very excited that you brought it up, because I'm like, very excited.
I'm psyched on, in the age of social media, when like young people that like, were raised on cell phones are discovering like all this great music. There's so many sick clips of Squarepusher like that are going viral on Instagram of him playing bass. Yeah. And it's like, people probably think like, if you listen to this, you might think this is programmed like on a computer. You're like, there's no way there's a human being playing this. And now there's like videos out there of him actually playing it. And it's just, it will shatter your perception of what you think a human being can play on that instrument. Like for me, like every time I'm just like, well, it's stupid. It's stupid that like he learned and figured out how to play that way. I don't know how, but like, yeah, I'm just glad that like he's kind of having a resurgence moment where like young people are like, what is this? What is happening with this? Like, this record is just going to blow everybody's brains, I think,
Oh my gosh, guys, holy cow, what a review. I got to do some homework.
I wonder if there's a playlist that you can see the visual to what we were talking about. I wonder if there's a place we can do this.
If only there was a place, yeah.
If only there's a play. I heard there's a playlist, a YouTube playlist. Is there?
Speed of sound. We are here to serve.
We just want to give you the sauce, all of it.
That's right.
Have the whole thing.
That's awesome. I love that. My one mention for this upcoming Friday was Ella Langley, because her new Dandelion album is coming out. And I just think her music is very fun. It's very groovy. I think I might have even talked about it last episode, but her new music video, Be Her. She also had a new one for Choosing Texas, but I just think it's going to be fun and boppy. And she's kind of giving 90s and early 2000s kind of country. She's bringing that back again. And so I'm excited. I'm excited to see kind of what this album is about. So there's quite a bit of buzz about it. She's really made a name for herself, I would say, within country, modern day country. And so yeah, we'll have to see. We'll have to see what she brings to the table.
I have heard, because of you, I heard that the Texas song. So that's the one that I actually looked at the video. I was like, oh.
What was your review? What did you think of that, Choosing Texas?
It definitely reminds me of like you go to the county fair, and then you get like a funnel cake, and then like there's like this small stage, and that's like underneath like an awning. Like on the backside of the awning is like you pet donkeys. But then like the lady on stage is like ethereally singing. Like it's just beautiful. And that's what I grasped from it. I'm like, man, you know what?
What a painting.
You know,
I want to go
a fried
there.
Oreo.
You took me
Give
there.
Give me a fried
Give
Oreo.
me a fried Twinkie. I mean, come on.
Everything is color graded, very brown, yellow. Like everything.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes. You putting on the sunglasses, the yellow sunglasses.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like all the little girls are running around with like flower crowns. Like you know what I'm saying? Like the parents are like at the barbecue stand, and the kids are running around, dudes. Yeah.
I like that. That was a good picture you painted right there.
Thank you. I'm going to segue from what I mentioned earlier about covers. Remember I said I think covers are the best way to somebody's heart. It's the way to your heart is chocolate, and the other one is covers.
Chocolate and covers.
Dorian Electra is an artist that is from the PC Music Collective. So by PC Music Collective, I'm talking about A.G. Cook, Sophie, R.I.P., Charlie XCX, Umru, all those kinds of very like avant-garde producers from the UK. Dorian Electra is an artist that is mostly a singer than they are a producer, but it has pretty crazy producing chops. That's part of that collective. Very interesting sounding voice. Like it's kind of like almost childish sounding. And put out a cover of Feel Good Inc. that is part of that. But there's a bunch of other covers that are on this album. I think like half of the album is covers. So if you're curious as to like the style that Dorian Electra produces in and sings in, I think this is a really good introduction to their music. The next one I have is Jessie Ware. Jessie Ware, frequent collaborator with Disclosure. That's how I found out about Jessie Ware. Very talented singer, absolutely beautiful voice. Is putting an album out that we mentioned this in passing. I'm not sure if it was during the podcast or something else about like, I love when an album is conceptually on point and to the point where it takes you in and it keeps you there for the entire ride through it and it spits you out at the end and you're like, oh, I forgot where I am. And Jessie Ware's album Super Bloom, there's only 2 singles that are out right now. And it is a true dive into the 80s. And it's not the 80s of like 80s like Survivor, 80s Kate Bush, 80s, Aha. It's not any of that. It is everything. And it's like she takes up like eras of the 80s into like her own style. And the production is super true to life 80s sounding. And I'm actually curious to like look up some production diaries to figure out exactly how she came up with that and like the producers that she worked with and the gear and all these very interesting things. But Super Bloom is the name of the album, and it is I'm looking extremely forward to it as somebody who loves 80s style production and like losing yourself in that world. And the last one that I have is Zayn, former member of One Direction.
Yeah.
The most soulful singer in that whole band. I don't give a damn what anybody thinks. You got some soul.
You're making some enemies today.
I don't care. I've said what I said. And Mind of Mine was such a great album. That was the first solo album that he made after leaving One Direction. He is putting out an album called Conical. It is his first album in 12 years. I have no idea what happened in between that. I'll have to look it up. Yeah, Pillow Talk, phenomenal song. But Zayn Conical, I don't know what the hell it's going to sound like. I haven't heard a single yet, and we'll be diving into that. And we'll be curious when it comes out.
What a rundown.
Yes. Oh, Lordy.
Bobby, what are you watching for?
I got another one, April 17th.
But you have the heavy hitters when you say that, because now I'm like, oh my God, I got to buckle in because I know it's going to be real good.
I'm not gonna waste your time. I'm gonna stick to one. All right. But band called Accessory. So there's a Chicago band called Dead, DEHD, that has like made a name for themselves. They've been playing for quite a bit. Kind of like they're a 3-piece. They kind of walk the indie punk world, like pop world. They're kind of in all those pools, Accessory is Jason Bala from Dead's other band. I had the pleasure of playing a show with Accessory, and they played as like a 9-piece. There were like more members on stage than there were in the crowd watching. But it sounded incredible. It was like a complete sound bath. Definitely shoegaze influenced for sure. If you remember Devotees, Speed of Sound Devotees, go back to episode 1, and I mentioned a band called Technicolor Teeth that I feel very passionately about.
I remember.
Accessory is kind of scratching that itch. It's very like retro sounding, like inspired by maybe like 1960s psychedelic rock, like the Byrds, but it's in like a modern take of shoegaze, very washy, a lot of great textures and like just cool pop music that's just like under a bath of like delay and reverb pedals. You know? So
need that bad.
In Chicago, there's a thing called album runs. This guy, he basically has a running club, and once a month he organizes them and he picks out an album, and everyone puts the album on and they run the duration. They run for the duration of the album, and then after they get together and they talk about it. Tonight, like as soon as I adjourn with you guys, me and my wife are going to Chicago to do a little preview of this Accessory record. We're going to do an album run for Accessory tonight. So I'm really, really stoked. I'm going to get a little sneak peek of the record. You know,
we are learning new things.
So freaking cool, Bobby.
What?
It's going to be awesome.
Dude, I hate it here. Why can't we have that?
And I think Jason from Accessories doing it. Yeah, right. Oh yeah, yeah. Actually,
can we start that here? Can we the Speed of Sound Run Club?
We definitely have to do it. We got to do it.
Just album run throughs.
Yeah, but I'm so stoked. It's a cool. There's like a great trail in Chicago called the 606, which is like this. It was an old train line that they've turned into a running path. So it's like
that in Atlanta. I love that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's cool, and it runs like through a cool part of Chicago. So like we all go up there, and then like if the album's 30 minutes long, you run out 15 minutes and come back, and then and then like I said, I heard that Jason from Accessory, he himself is a runner, so he'll be there tonight. And we'll get to talk with him about the record and everything. So it should be a cool experience.
I love that.
Oh my gosh, please, if you can
please report back.
Yeah.
We will.
I can't wait to hear how that goes.
Yeah.
That's great. Yeah. Dang. Oh my gosh. Well, we got some good stuff coming up, you guys. Next episode, we're going to have to run it back because that is super exciting. And I love the rundowns. Also, segueing into festival season is upon us. And our group chat was going off because it's like, oh my God, how is Coachella here already? How are we already in April? What the hell is happening? What's up? What's down? What festivals are you guys looking forward to?
Well, I am very excited about Coachella, and I would like to still inquire about how crazy the lead up to Coachella is. But I think my favorite festival of this entire run is a festival that I felt like has kind of flown underneath the radar. It's called Kilby Block Party. And it is a festival in Salt Lake City, Utah. And the lineup is just about like, they just stole my Spotify Wrapped, and they were like, have your freaking festival, damn it. And the tickets for this for 3 days is $289.
That's it?
So, $289. But mind you are seeing the XX, Lord, Turnstile, Haley Williams, Modest Mouse, Lucy Dacus, Blood Orange, Japanese Breakfast, Magdalena Bay, Alex G, Father John Misty, American Football, Snail Mail, Beach Bunny, Jane Remover, Between Friends.
Breathe, Brad, breathe.
I'm
just kidding, dude. You got to go to that. That was made for you.
I will have to figure out how I'm supposed to get out of my commitments to go to this, because I might have to actually go see this, because I love the XX so much. And the XX is playing their first show in 10 years. They played in Mexico 2 days ago, and they're playing Coachella this weekend. It'll be their second show. In however many years after not releasing an album since 2017. So that's
crazy.
Very, 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 very looking forward to this festival.
There's a ton of crossover between it and Coachella, I'm noticing, but
for a quarter of the price.
Right.
Yeah.
And then taking away a lot of the bands that are you're scratching your head at, and replacing it with cool underground bands.
Yes.
As far as Kilby Block Party goes, the lineup is from top to bottom pretty incredible. And I will speak to the people behind it. Kilby, they run a venue year round, Kilby Court, which is a great place for up and coming bands to play in Salt Lake City, and the promoters are awesome. So definitely this is a very, very cool festival, and it's only getting better every year.
Support good people.
Love that. Have you ever been to it, Bobby?
I haven't been to the festival, but like I said, we've had the pleasure of playing Kilby Court numerous times, and they're awesome people doing really cool stuff in Salt Lake City,
That's great. Shout out.
Yeah.
Very cool. Nice find, Brad.
Obsessed. bad. I might actually have to just blow a bunch of fucking wad and just go. Like, it's not even that expensive, all things considered, but it's like, damn. Yeah.
That's cool. Bobby, how about you? Any that you got your eye on? I'm sure there's many.
So, yeah, there is, but the one I'm most excited about literally got announced as we were having this conversation earlier. My wife sent me like the Instagram post. So it's called Sound and Gravity. It's in Chicago. It takes place at like a few different venues, I'm pretty sure. But like as Brad said, like if someone just looked at your end of the year list or like looked through your library on your streaming service and like based the lineup, this one is mine. So it's a ton of like it's a ton of artists that like I'm so incredibly geeked on that I, like they would be shows I would go to anyway if they were happening in Chicago. But thankfully, these are all going to be happening like in the same weekend. So this takes place in September 3rd through September 6th. And my highlighted list, like Grouper's playing. Grouper's like this incredibly legendary ambient artist, really beautiful pianist, like singer. She's playing American Analog Set, which is like one of my favorite like indie bands from like the 2000s. Like they've been semi getting active again recently. They put a record out like in the last couple of years and they're going to come play Chicago, which is awesome. Gregory Ullman, who I just was talking about in this episode, he's going to be there. So, and he's doing like two different sets. He's doing like a collaboration set and he's doing a solo set. So
I love when people do
that.
David Moore, who gained fame under the band Bing and Ruth. He's like a classically trained pianist, but like does like more like ambient stuff. He just put out a record earlier this year that's incredible, and he's finally coming to Chicago to play, which is going to be amazing. And the thing I am the most excited about, okay, is Natural Information Society is doing a collaboration set with Bitch and Bajas. Now, I haven't had the chance to talk about Bitch and Bajas on this show yet, but
let's hear it.
I love Bitch and Bajas more than people love most things. Okay, I love this band. I think they are the coolest band from Chicago by a considerable margin. Okay, I won't even try to describe it. Just go listen to it. Just go listen to Bitch and Bajas. Okay, but earlier
on the playlist.
Yeah, it will be on the playlist. But last December, my wife and I went to go see them, and it rinsed both of our brains. It was just a total brain rinse where it was like just, life before seeing Bitch and Bajas and then life after, we are at the after point. So they put out two records last year. One of them was a collaboration with Natural Information Society, and they're going to run it back and do this collaboration set at Sound and Gravity. Oh, yeah. So it's going to be insane sounding, I'm super, super stoked for. So I will definitely be buying weekend passes for that, and I will be parked and going to as many of the showcases as I possibly can. I literally cannot wait for it.
Hell yes. Oh my gosh. We need to get like a Bobby cam going and then just
I'll definitely be posting a lot on the Speed of Sound Instagram that weekend.
Hell, if I do this, then I'm definitely doing that too. I'm posting hell.
Yeah. We need to look into that. I need to like get you guys some GoPros and just like strap them to your chest for these festivals.
Yeah.
That would be awesome. And quickly too, before we wrap up today, so the Coachella lineup, and also before we even get into the lineup, right before we started recording, I said to Brad, I was like, dude, what do you even think a ticket is going for right now for Coachella? We checked it out. Was it a 3-day pass?
3-day GA.
Resale.
Not
Bobby,
counting
how much
shuttle.
do you think? Yeah.
Do I dare? Do I dare say? Is it $500? Am I not even close? I have no clue.
Lay it down, Brad. Lay it down. I was.
There are currently 7 resales available on AXS official resales. Yeah. The cheapest is $1,500.
I mean, come on now.
It's Formula One prices.
Insane.
It's insane.
This is not counting shuttle or camping.
Right.
No.
Wow.
Yeah. Good luck getting on the property.
Where are you going to sleep? Who knows?
Yeah. So how are you going to get there? You going to park? You're going to park?
You're going to run?
In Indio, California? You're going to park? Where are you going to park?
Look, there was one time Cloakroom broke down in Indio, California, and I will tell you, outside of Coachella, there's not a lot happening there. So you better.
The BMW Performance Center West is over there.
You better have some plans, all right?
Yeah.
and some sunscreen.
They do have a Del Taco,
desert.
I will say.
Yes.
Yeah,
Numerous
Del
Del
Tacos,
Tacos. That's they got that going for them.
Yeah, that's true. And with the lineup talking for Coachella, who's catching our eye? And also, if you had to pick one day out of the 3-day lineup, what day would you pick? I would love to know.
So personally, I'm a big Justin Bieber guy. Like the Swag album is amazing. I've been watching the live streams. I am. He's been doing live streams of him rehearsing for this show. So like seeing the rehearsals, I've been very hyped because he's never played. He didn't tour for Swag. He never did it. The only live version of any song from that album that we got is his performance at the Grammys. So to hear all these songs live, it's like, the exclusivity is killing me. Like I need to see it. But he is on Saturday. Okay. Unfortunately, Saturday's lineup to me is not strong enough to me wanting to just go see that.
Little light. Yeah.
And this is saying like there's Interpol, Alex G, David Byrne, Labyrinth, Addison Rae. I mean, whatever. The Strokes, Pink Panthers, like Ceremony, like amazing. But I think Friday is my favorite lineup. And that is Sabrina Carpenter's headlining, the XX, Disclosure, Turnstile, Ethel Cain, Dijon, Teddy Swims, Devo, Sexy Red. I love Sexy Red. I don't care. Foster the People, Blood Orange. Moby is there. We got Moby. Yes. Fake Mink, Hamdi, Fleshwater, a sick-ass band, Fleshwater. Slater, another New Music Friday person that we mentioned. Nina Geraci, who I saw in Durham a couple months ago. Just badass. Like it's just a badass day to go see anybody.
I concur. I would go Friday. I would go solely for that Devo Moby block that's happening from 6:45 to 9 p.m. That would be that would be what
perfect
the
timing.
main thing I'd want to see. Yeah, exactly. So
wow. Dude. Would you stay for Sabrina Carpenter, Bobby?
You got it.
I could be convinced.
Do you like ELO over there? Do you like ELO?
Oh yeah.
So, dude, Sabrina Carpenter is just ELO, but like right now. ELO, but sexual and right now.
That's a hard sell, but okay.
I'm dead serious.
That's a hard sell.
Have you listened to Short and Sweet?
I haven't. No, I'll be the first to admit. I'm only familiar with the album before.
I'm going to send you 2 songs in the group chat, and I just want you to go from there because I feel like as a bass player, you will love this album.
God.
All right, fair enough. I'll take your word for it. Shout out Sunday Glitterer. I see Brad's hat.
Hey.
The closest thing that we have to title fight. Thankfully, Ned's still going strong, and Glitter is sick. You should definitely check them out, and they'll be there. They'll be there early on Sunday. But that would be
if you are a title fight fan, you'd probably like to see Drain, who's also playing on Sunday.
Hey.
Yeah,
there you go.
And if you love me, then you'll see Jane Remover, who's also playing Sunday. It is my favorite artist.
And Fatboy Slim. That would be cool to see.
Oh yeah,
legendary.
Oh. Food, Roy's up.
So Sunday's great too to round it out.
Black Flag is playing. Suicidal Tendencies is playing Sunday.
Yeah.
This is ridiculous. It's a lot going on.
It's something to be said about whoever's booking all these artists, you know, and like even and Brad and I had said this earlier, but like what a job to set this up and not only obviously find the bands, but then to, you know, how are they blocking time? Who's playing at the same time on one stage over here as that stage? Like there's so many logistics, obviously. I mean, that's why they have huge teams to create these festivals. But just hearing you guys talk about it, like it gets me excited because now I'm like, I want to go see who's playing when, who's slated up against each other. It's pretty fascinating.
Yeah, dealing with management too, like management wanting their artists to be this far up the board and
right, whose name's on top, who's on the bottom. Like I'm just happy to be here.
A pain in the ass.
Right.
I do enjoy seeing like which of my friends' bands get the call up for Coachella and Lollapalooza every year. You know, like this year, obviously it's Glitterer and Ceremony, bands like that. Like it's cool to see them get these crazy. It is a crazy opportunity. I mean, there's going to be over 100,000 people there, and Lollapalooza even more. So it's cool to see like who gets the call up. Who had a good enough year that they get the big chance. So I'm excited for them.
That's awesome. Same. Love it. Well, yeah, if you hear from any of your buddies, next episode we'll have to see, what they say. Pretty cool.
If you're looking forward to seeing these on the live stream and whatever doesn't make the live stream, I'm very curious to see, especially Glitterer.
I feel like we got a lot to look forward to. So many things to add to our playlist, which everybody, please, we will drop all of our albums, our picks, our music mentions, and the official Speed of Sound playlist. So go check that out. Thank you so much for hanging with us today and listening to the Speed of Sound. Please subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. Check us out on YouTube and our socials as well. And we'll see you next time.